Welcome back to Daily Thoughts with Nate. Not even a segment, I'm just making stuff up as I go, but I guess that's just the way of the rule. Something that I've been thinking about recently is the concept of superhero families. Now, in recent years, and when I mean recent, I mean like, I don't know, the past 2-3 decades, just the modern age of comics, specifically at the big two, superhero families have been a mainstay of their comics, right? Especially for the main players. And I guess the reason why people have attached themselves so much to these families is because it shows progression, it shows growth for the central character, whether that's like Batman having an extended Bat family, whether that's the Flash having that extended family. It shows growth, but it also shows a timeline, right? It shows that things are actually happening. These characters that are being introduced are going to be relevant for the stories plotted moving forward. And yeah, going back to growth, it shows that these characters are progressing, right? Batman and him bringing in the Robins allowed further growth for himself. And going to today's segment, it really is about how bloated these teams have really become and how much of a detriment it has led to these characters, right? A lot of these characters, because of the many additions to the family, has led to them being pushed to the wayside, right? Not given the proper development that they need in order to focus on other characters, or they're just not using the family correctly in any way, shape, or form. So in today's video, I want to speak about this current trend that's going on in comic book Twitter, where it's like family fix. They would have stuff like Bat family fix, Super family fix, and so on. And the entire concept of it is to kind of give your opinions on what you think each family member should go through, like going forward. What should be the 5-year plan? You feel me? Like, all these characters, should they stay alive? Should they be pushed out? Should they really be connected to the family? Should they die? And so on and so forth. So yeah, I kind of want to take a little stab at this because I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So to kind of start off with, I want to do a little bit of an unorthodox kind of pick where we speak about the Green Arrow family. Now in universe, they are called Team Arrow, similar to the TV show. And the reason why I want to start with them first is because it's what really got me thinking about this in the first place. Joshua Williamson had I want to say 17, 18 issue run of Green Arrow, right? And the entire purpose of this comic run was to bring back fan favorites. And a lot of people liked it in the beginning, myself included, for the first like 6, 7, 8 issues. But as it got moving forward to like volume 2, volume 3, I realized the tropes that were involved, the repetition and the formula, right? What it would be like is conflict, then family meeting and gathering, and family reunion, whatever that may be, then conflict again, then another reunion, everyone hugs, maybe there's like a beach episode, and then it goes back to conflict, and it's just this rinse and repeat cycle. And then when Chris Condon, the new Green Arrow writer, came on, he decided to make it realistic. He changed the genre so it's more of a gritty type of Green Arrow, kind of similar to the Mike Grell era during the beginning of the post-crisis universe, right? Kind of bringing it back to those roots. And people got really mad because he was getting rid of the family. Not that he was like hand-waving them away, he just wasn't implementing them in his story. And people got extremely heated that not every panel had 10 pages of them hugging. I don't know why people were so upset. I feel like if somebody wants to tell a good story, let them tell a good story. You don't have to have the family there. And Chris Condon's run so far has been 10 times better than Williamson's run. I will cross my heart on that because he really decided to explore the political roots of the character. And if you've read anything with Green Arrow, you know how important that is. Williamson's run was very much apolitical to its detriment, and that's why it didn't really have that much of a lasting impact other than the fact that it brought back these characters. And Condon, even in his like recent arc that's going on now, he's bringing back Arsenal, so I don't know what the issue is. You just gotta let writers cook. This goes back to my previous video where it's like fans are too scared of like conflict and change, bro. Sometimes you just gotta let a writer cook, especially one as good as Chris Condon. Let them do their magic. But anyways, let me search up a picture real quick. Let me speak properly. Oh my goodness. Green Arrow family. Okay. Big boy in front, Arsenal. Arsenal will always have his spot here, mainly because he's been here since the beginning. his like transition and his progression from like Speedy to Arsenal to Red Arrow in Post Crisis was peak. His relationship with his daughter Leanne, the back and forth with his let's just say baby mama, Cheshire. Greatness. Honestly, I love that entire dynamic. There was like these 2 arcs, I think, in Action Comics where he had like a team up with Nightwing that was just really good. I think it's in the trade Nightwing New Friends Old Enemies or something like that. Search it up. It's a really good trade. But yeah, Arsenal, he stays. Leanne, his daughter, of course, by proxy, has to stay. I don't know why she has a bow and arrow in this picture, but what I would do is kind of position her back into the... Was it Cheshire Cat? Maybe it was Shoes, but in like Ram V's Catwoman run, he kind of put her in a, not really a sidekick role, but she was with Catwoman in the East End as one of her, I guess, Alleytown strays, right? Working with Catwoman to build up this sort of localized power. And that was great, right? Even in Detective Comics run, Ram V kind of carried this thread. And a lot of Green Arrow fans are really pressed about this. I don't really know why, considering Ram V took the effort to not only use Leanne when nobody else was, but also to build up kind of a reconciliation with her mother, right? The people working with Ram V and like the backup writers and stuff like that, they made a really cool reconciliation backup issue with Cheshire, right? And Leanne. So that's progression you wouldn't have seen in Green Arrow otherwise, because he didn't even have a book for the past 4 or 5 years. That's probably why people really loved the Joshua Williamson run, because it was a return to form after not having any Green Arrow material for a long time. But I digress. Black Canary obviously stays. Dude, I'm looking at this picture and I'm like, this is like back during the early Overwatch days, and you're able to have like a whole team of like 6 Hanzo mains. Like, what is this team comp? This is a long-range family. Where's the close-up? Well, I guess that's Black Canary, right? Speaking of which, right, I'm already on the ball. Black Canary, of course, being one of the best martial artists and having the Canary cry and being the wife of Green Arrow, stays. Connor Hawke, also known as Green Arrow, sharing the mantle with his father. Now, Connor Hawke was a great Green Arrow during the Chuck Dixon run. I don't think anyone's going to deny that. When Green Arrow was killed, he took over, and I'm not even going to get started about comics. Actually, I'm going to. It's so hilarious. So, Green Arrow was stuck on a plane, right? His hand was in this contraption, and Superman was there, and he could have saved him. He was like, dude, I'm going to have to cut your arm off. I'm sorry about it. You're just going to have to deal with it. You're going to be an amputee. And Green Arrow's like, no, don't do it, bro. I would rather die in this explosion from the plane, bro. I know if I lose my arm, I'm going to be a one-trick pony. Everyone's going to laugh at me. And it's actually kind of based that he was going to go out like that. But come on, man. Have you read Dark Knight Returns? This man was thugging it out with one hand, shooting kryptonite arrows at Superman. He can obviously do it. But editorial at DC was kind of slacking. But this man would rather die than get his arm chopped off to save his life. Oh my goodness, Ollie. What are we going to do with you? But Connor Kent. But Connor Hawke. What would I do with him? Honestly, if you guys read the recent like Robin Damian Wayne run when they were on the Lazarus tournament, where it was like kind of this Mortal Kombat like fighting arena where you had 3 lives, and if you kill each other, if you kill somebody, they get resurrected and you have 3 lives, right? And then you get kicked out. That was really cool, and honestly, Connor was beating up Damian so hard. People forget that Connor is one of the best martial arts fighters in the world, so I would kind of position him in that sort of way, right? I would put him as a globe-trotting hero going to fighting tournaments. Maybe pair him up with like Cassandra Cain or something, and they can be like a duo. That would be fire, honestly. I would read that. I'm sure you guys would too. Amiko, Ollie's half-sister, Red Arrow. I don't know what you would do with her other than like put her on the Teen Titans. Just make a new Teen Titans book, DC. Come on. Speedy, Mia Darden. Now, I would keep her as like the sidekick of Green Arrow. I would put her in a more prominent position in the books and keep her right there. Like, she is one of the most fascinating characters. Her like struggle with like HIV and actually speaking about it in like the Judd Winnick run, and her progression to becoming Speedy was immaculate. Who else do we have here? Red Canary, kill her. I know she had like a really fun like single issue or some sort of backup issues, right? With like Sideways or something, but there is no purpose. Canary is right there and could do more than her. And Arrowette, just retire her. Like, she's a fascinating character in her own right. I kind of compare her to like, what's the brother's name? David from like Cyberpunk Edge Runners, where it's like these two characters are essentially living out the dreams of others. But unlike David, she figured this out pretty quickly, that her mom was trying to live the superhero life through her because she was a failed superheroine herself, right? And when she kind of loses control, and the one therapist that she had to kind of get her through this situation of her being used all her life and kind of groomed to be the superhero since she was like 3-4 years old, when she died in a school shooting, she went rogue and she was going after the killers and almost killed them if it wasn't for Superboy. And that little incident right there made her have a whole crisis of ideology, right? And she just stopped being Arrowette in the Young Justice run. It was a really good set of issues that I highly recommend everyone read it. Peter David's Young Justice run. And honestly, you know what I would do with her actually? Instead of just retiring her, I would make her like a therapist in like Sanctuary. And if you guys don't know what Sanctuary is, just read Heroes in Crisis. Actually, don't. Do not read Heroes in Crisis, please. What a book. A Sanctuary, what it basically is, this is a great idea. It's a area that heroes go to that's secluded, that they're able to talk about their mental health and maybe position her as a therapist in her own right? Kind of taking over what her therapist did, but of course in a broader sense, since she's going to be talking to the superhero community. Yeah. Can you guys see my entire pitch for this? Like, move them away from Oliver, because if you see all of them in a frame, you just know how redundant all of these characters are. Either way, let's move on to the Bat Family. Now, I'm going to pull up a post that's really going to get me pressed, but should I put up the name? Nah, let me not do it before you guys send her hate, but here's this post, kind of talking about, okay, hold up, water break. Okay, glug, glug, glug. But, yeah, she kind of positions all the Bat Family members in this photo as not family, staying, or dead. So let's go through the list. Alfred, dead. Yep, I would agree with that. Alfred has had a really prominent part in like the development of these characters, his passing, so yes. Azrael, no. I am not killing this man. If you read Arkham City or Order of the World, Sword of Azrael, and Ram V Detective Comics with Dan Waters, that is an all-timer run. You can't tell me Azrael is not a peak character after reading those three. Red Hood, kill him. I agree, he hasn't had... Let me know the best Red Hood story in the past 5 years. Let me know the last good story he's had in the comments down below. Kate Kane, not a part of the family. I disagree with this wholeheartedly, not just because Greg Rucka and the New 52 had like really good Batwoman runs, but it's like, she's literally related to Bruce by blood. Like, come on now. Flamebird, killed. I'm just gonna skip through a couple of these for a bit, because, you know, there's a lot. Terry McGinnis, he's not even alive. Damian stays. Yep, probably the best character arc of the entire Bat family from where he started. Batman, the GOAT, stays. Catwoman, not family. Now, I know a lot of people, because she left him at the altar in Tom King's run, really hate Catwoman, but I can't really take her away from the family, because like, she's been written way too well by like Ram V recently in like that One Bad Day issue for me to say that, so nah, she stays. Helena Bertinelli, also known as the Huntress, my girl. Okay, not a part of the family. I don't agree with this. I think she was the best version of the Red Hood concept. During the 90s, she was the rogue character, right? She was the one where you didn't know if she was going to kill or not. She actually was adamantly trying to kill her enemies. And she just had a really great dynamic, not only with Batman, but also with Tim Drake and Dick Grayson, Nightwing. And her arc in NML was absolutely exquisite. Like when she became Batgirl with that costume, bro. Oh, the drip. I'm not gonna spoil it, because if you know what NML is, you're a Batman fan and you already know what I'm talking about. But yeah, let's move forward. Nightwing dead. I can't say that when Dan Waters is doing wonders with the character right now. Batgirl, Oracle, she's kind of already positioned like that in the Nightwing and the Batman run, so you might as well just keep her there. Cassandra, she's having a great run right now. Tim Drake, Stephanie Brown. No. I already gave my Tim Drake pitch in one of my previous videos, where it's like, make this man have a new identity. Instead of Red Robin, make him Cardinal and make him a globe-trotting private detective. That's a fire pitch in and of itself. And the entire fandom wants it to be that way. Stephanie Brown, such a great dynamic with Tim. Her time as Batgirl was peak. Her time as Spoiler is very fun. And they just need to be together, bro. Just throw away Bernard, bro. Who the hell is Bernard? He's not even that interesting of a character. Just get these two back together, and if you don't want to do anything with these characters, just retire them, or better yet, just put them in college. Like, they just need to go to college, and maybe have this, like, cool hurrah type of moment where it's like they retired, but some sort of big moment kind of brings them back in the game. They're like, okay, I can never escape this, and they come back in all their form and glory. That would be sick. Super family. Let's search up a pic of the super family. So obviously the boy Kal-El, he has to stay. I don't think any of us would argue with that. Now Supergirl and Superboy. Now my pitch for them is kind of similar to what DC has been doing, which is like putting them in the cosmic territory, making them the cosmic Superman of the group. Of course, with Supergirl in like Woman of Tomorrow and Superboy in what's the Man of Tomorrow? Bro, these guys have already similar, maybe make them a duo. They already have similar book titles at this point. But yeah, they could just be the cosmic variants. Maybe make Superboy here into maybe like Valor or Skyrocket, or maybe change the name up kind of similar to Tim Drake so that Jonathan Kent over here can have it. Now Jonathan Kent, this man has so much potential to be the Gohan of the Superman universe. Like him kind of keeping up with his father's shenanigans in terms of like power level, and him having his Superman blue form and all these new abilities is really tight. If only his books were good. But Secret Six, he's been put on the Secret Six, and it's very interesting. I haven't actually read it, but I've seen comic excerpts, and well, I guess only time will tell, but it does look like a very cool position to put little Jonathan here. And I do not think he should be aged down again. That has no bearing on my decision with what he should do, because it's been too long, and that seems like such a shot in the wrong direction considering how much time has passed. Kanan over here, the new Superman. Honestly, he had a really good run in Rebirth, and if you've read it, you realize that he already made a position for himself. He's kind of like the magical Superman, so just give this man another book. That's what I would do with him. Like, he more than earned his spot as a part of the Superman team. And the Super Twins. Okay, hear me out. I would kill them, as a lot of you would. I would do it, but like, PKJ is coming back to write a new book with them, so they're not totally irrelevant. Now, anyone realize that no one uses these characters other than PKJ? And I find it to be such a disservice to them just because there's so much raw potential, like them being Philosians or whatever, who are offshoots of the Kryptonians, them being slaves on Warworld, like with the Mongol, and having these gladiatorial matches, and the types of just interesting iconography that you could do with them that's already been done. If you look at PKJ's run, one really cool thing that I remember is that when one of the twins were like sleeping, they subconsciously tied the blanket around their arms, almost sort of like in a bind. And in some sort of twisted way, it's like they're not fully acclimated to freedom. They find comfort, I guess. Oh, this sounds bad. They find comfort, I guess, in slavery, because in Warworld, what would happen is that they would have chains on them, and each fight that you win, a link would be added to your chain. So all of this built up trauma for the Superman family to not only discuss, but like deal with, seems like a no-brainer. Let's talk about the Flash family. An entire group of all-star track and field runners. What is this, bro? The thing about the Flash family is that there isn't really much that you could do with like the power set. Like the Speed Force in and of itself is something that people like learn and are adept to at varying degrees. Like Wally is more adept in the Speed Force than someone like a Wallace West, like a Kid Flash, and some of them have different abilities depending on how knowledgeable they are on the Speed Force, but we can't really do anything about their power set. They are going to stay the same either way. But I guess this is all about personality and who I like. Oh no. So Jay Garrick. Okay, let's just go down the list. Okay, the first runner-up, pun intended, is Jay Garrick. Jay Garrick, he has one of the flyest outfits in all of comics. The sauce is next level. People don't understand how cool the fit is. And he always has a place in the JSA. So, of course, he stays. Barry Allen. Now, most people would say that he should just die. Poof, gone nada. And I would agree with this, if not for the fact that he was just recently, like, retired for, like, actually, not even recent. How long has it been? 6-7 months? Like, half a year by now he's been retired. So DC has already dealt with this fraud. No, I'm joking. I like Barry. And if he wasn't retired or killed and I had to give another option, I would just position him in the same way as Mark Waid, what he did. And whenever he writes him in the modern era, he makes him this multiversal traveler who kind of maps out these different universes, right? He just goes through one by one. That would really make a cool, like, mini or maxi series of seeing him interact with the different known universes like Kingdom Come and stuff like that. But, you know, due to absolute power, that's kind of a null and void thought because the multiverse is like shut off. One could dream, but either way, there's not too much overlap right now. Wally West, the GOAT, he stays. Impulse. Now, Impulse is weird because he went from Impulse to Kid Flash to back to Kid Flash, and then Rebirth, he went back to Impulse. So this kind of wibble wobble in his identity makes me think that they should change it to something else. Maybe make him the new, like, Quicksilver. And if you don't know, Quicksilver was the first name of Max Mercury, and Max Mercury is the Zen master of the Speed Force. He is the Yoda, the original trilogy Obi-Wan Kenobi when it comes to the Speed Force. He's the most knowledgeable. He is the source of information when it comes to all the variables that the Flash family aren't even aware of. So he obviously stays. Maybe you could retire him if you want to and kind of give Impulse that mantle so he has some sort of stability. Wallace West. Wallace West would have been put on a t-shirt if not for Jeremy Adams and the great dialogue and banter he wrote with him and Impulse. Honestly, just give Jeremy Adams a duo book with those two and that will do really well. Avery in the back. Just killer, bro. One of the most boring, redundant characters of all time. Why is she even here? Jesse Quick. Keeper, great with the JSA. Johnny Quick, kill that man. Everyone knows the Speed Force formula. You are not special in the slightest. And I guess finally, let's talk about Spider-Man. I'm tired of talking about Spider-Man, but everyone, all of them, die. Done. Peter, Miles, Gwen, all of them, bro. Get rid of the entire cast. I don't want to see a single Spider person in my line of... Okay, I'm joking. Peter, of course, has to stay. Miles, yes, he should stay. Gwen, any sort of multiversal variant, kick them out. Like, who allowed you to stay for so long? You serve no purpose. I'm turning into low tier god. All the multiversal, like Spider-Women, Spider-Man, $20.99. All of them. No, get out. The clones, I guess Ben and Kane, they can stay. I really do enjoy those characters. And Spider-Woman, she's completely detached from Peter for the most part. So yeah, I'll just say really just reduce the Spider-Verse, right? And stop having Spider-Verse events every year. Like, come on now, it's such a tired trope. The only good Spider-Verse media in general, and I will cross my heart on this, is Shattered Dimensions, the Spider-Verse films, and I don't know, like the 90s Spider-Man show. Like, that's it. Spider-Verse has never been particularly good in comics. Either way, guys, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on these teams? What would you do going forward? And what are some of the hot takes you guys might have? Leave it down in the comment section down below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you know when a new video goes live. And yeah, deuces. Take care.